That was the worst. That was bad. Looks like a design flaw or abstract art or something.
Welcome to A Rat Mountain Life, where we lead with our mistakes and aren't afraid to make fun of ourselves. So what we're going to be working on here today is I have to weld up some post sleeves for a deck project I'm working on at my house. Now, those post sleeves are 7x7. I had true 6x6 posts for my deck. So what happened was I could not find any pre-built sleeves that would work for this. So what I'm doing, I'm making my own and I'm going to paint it. I think it'll turn out pretty nice, honestly. What I'd like to do today, just show you this Weaver chop saw. Show you a little bit of this titanium welder from Harbor Freight. I also have the welding helmet here. Nothing big, nothing crazy. You'll see more of this project later in a future video set. So like I said, there are 6x6 posts that I'm sliding this sleeve over. So what I need to do is I need to cut out 3/16 stock so that it can slide over and not be all sloppy on top of the post. So I'll just show you how this metal chop saw works from Weaver. And again, for me as a hobbyist, seems to be pretty good thus far in the little use I've had with it. Comes with a nice mechanism to lock it in place here. All you do is spin this all thread, catches, and locks it in place. Tell you what, I'm sure there are much, better quality or at least more recognized brand names out there. But for me as a hobbyist, this is an amazing value, much faster than using a grinder or going through blades on a Sawzall. And I just loosen it up, slide it through, and I don't need exact measurements on this, literally just need it to kind of hold in place. Just literally goes right through it. And as someone who has been using a grinder to do this for years, this is a whole new world that's opened up, I feel like. That one fall through or something? Or get kicked out somewhere. Where did it go? Guess I have it on video if I need to retrieve it somewhere. And I am not a professional welder. I am a hobbyist welder, and not even a good hobbyist welder. So keep the comments, don't be too harsh, I guess. If you are even a good hobbyist welder, you'll laugh at my welds, I'm sure, but you know what? It'll stick for what it is. I have this titanium welder, and it is running on a 240 volt cord here. Now I'm just running flux core at this point because that's all I can do. I'm just a novice hobbyist welder. If that's you, then you can sort of see how this works out for someone who's like that. You can see this little chart here. It's got flux cord. You go over. This is 3/16 in stock. So I need to set that up. So 275 amps, 20 volts, 5 to 10 wire speed. The way you do that is, kind of give you a little shade here so you can see. It's already set to 279. You can get within the range. There you go, 275. And we'll go to 20.2 is fine. And your wire speed is down here. Right now I have it all the way up. Let's just turn it back just a little bit. You see all your selectors here. There's TIG options, there's stick options, and then there's the MIG. You also have reverse polarity with this. When you're welding flux core on this, you do need to put it in a reverse polarity situation. It's been a while since I set that up. Basically switch these two around, and there's instructions on the inside of here. The first thing I'm doing is I have to make these little 3/16 stock go on the inside in here. And I need just enough clearance to make it not sloppy on the post. So hopefully you can see in there a little bit. But there we go. Finally got some new welding gloves at Harbor Freight on sale. They're not obviously probably the best of the best, but man, they're pretty good quality. These Vulcan Defenders, a little more nimble, and they're still made for MIG. The other ones were just the cheapest of the cheap and kind of clunky. Well, let's see how this goes. Would you look at that? There you go. So now, hopefully you can see here, I've got these little spacers welded in, just tack welded in right there. So now it'll fit nicely on that 6x6 post and not have too much slop in it. The next thing we're gonna be doing here is, I had a friend who is a good welder in his business, Paradigm Welding. He made these plates for me out of his CNC machine. What we're gonna do is put plate covers on top of here. They're made just a little smaller so we can fill that weld in. And we're gonna use these magnets. It's got this new one that's real big. Lock it in place and get these nice and sealed up before we paint them. So I hadn't figured out exactly how I was gonna do this yet, but I think the basic idea was get the right angle on this magnet. All right, let's give that a try. We'll just see how it goes. Hey, that's not supposed to fall out. Some moron must have put this thing together before. Oh, so you see the hook has to go over for it to actually stay in. Who knew? Who knew? That should work now. Really getting the full Jerry experience here, aren't you? It's more of a carpenter than I am a welder, but you know, I'm gonna learn. I'll say yet, because I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn how to do this okay, at least. That's not the worst. Not great. Not the worst. What do you know? I did a thing. That was the worst. That was bad. Just tack these sides. Probably overheated the one side, but so those of you that are actually welders, what does this stupidity mean? Because this one goes all right, not great, but it's okay. Then this, just terrible. Probably went too fast or something. Anyways, I'm gonna grind it off and try again, but love to hear, what am I doing wrong? Probably lots of things. Be gentle. So I think I figured out what I'm doing wrong here. Turns out that gravity exists. Something about science. When you go down, the puddle goes into itself. When you go up, makes a cool razorback waterfall here. Looks like a design flaw or abstract art or something. So we learned something today. We learned that gravity works like gravity. This is why you come to Red Mountain Life, to learn all these fancy new things. So let's see if we can put to use the science we just learned about how gravity works. See if it goes any better this time.
So we just passed the 500 subscriber mark this week from many kind people who pressed that button. If you could help us get to that lucky number 1,000, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Ah, science. Well, let's clean up that top one and then see how it goes.
All right.
Well, now that we went through the whole scientific method here, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and try and take this thing down a little bit. I'm gonna clean it up first, and then I'll have to actually grind it off with a different grinder. Actually, these welds on the side cleaned up pretty nicely. Now I just gotta take down the big one. Gonna try to take this weld down a little bit and see what we can do. Get you a little closer. You know, look kind of sad sitting back there. Why don't we move you right up here? I don't want you to miss out on anything. Well, that's a little better than it was. A nice flat-ish profile. Still got some gaps. Fill those in and correct our rookie mistakes here. And by our, I mean my, but it's more fun if I include you in the process and pretend like you messed up too. See what we can do here. that's a little better. Take the slag off first. As of now, I think I can grind it down and get it nice and smooth. Alright, so now I'm just gonna weld in these little keeper things in the bottom so it can't get all slopped around on the bottom of the actual post cover as well. And these don't have to be perfect, they can literally just be tacked in. You know what you have to do? You have to put your grounding clamp on. If you don't put the grounding clamp on, you can't weld. That's more science right there for you. Educator and a terrible welder. You're really getting some value out of this. It's one thing I do know for flux core welding because, well, I learned it from the internet. People who do actually know what they're doing. There are some of those people on the internet. If you're using flux core or you're using stick welding, they say if it slags, let it drag. And slag is that little bit of extra gunk that gets on that weld. What it is basically, as far as I understand it, this wire is covered in what's called flux, and so it shields the metal, but it allows it to melt into place. Essentially has that little cover left over from the extra where it all burns up. That's my moron's understanding of how welding works. Gets hot, burns, leaves a cover. That's about all I know. That's essentially what slag is, as far as I know. Whereas MIG welding has gas, which protects everything around it and allows it to melt, but it doesn't leave flux. It's the same as this, but it just doesn't leave the flux and it uses gas. I don't know if you noticed my prop rock, but that's how the professionals do it. You gotta find a nice rock and prop up their stuff. So again, if it slags, let it drag. Basically what that means is you want to drag your gun like this away from the weld, because you don't want to go push it into it. You want to drag it away from it. That's about all the actual welding tips I think I have that are any good. Obviously don't take tips from me. If I haven't said it already, we don't learn things on this channel necessarily. It's a what I'm doing channel, not a how-to. Get some fun ideas. Have fun watching me make silly mistakes, but this is not your definitive instruction channel by any means. And now it's time for the big reveal of the thing you've all been looking at for the past however many minutes. There we go. That's the post sleeve that goes over the post. While it's not perfect by any means, sealed up. I don't think any rain's getting in there or snow. And then I'm gonna paint it. I used the one that is furthest back on the deck first. But we'll go slide that thing in place. This is a deck project I've been working on, and you'll see a small video series of that later. Let's go ahead and put this post on. Looks like it's gonna be pretty good. I guess I might have to pound it in place a little, but we'll see. Don't hit the window, Jordan. Don't hit the window. Oh, well. Did my no slop barriers work too well? See, you just had to drop it down and break it. Those have a little slop in them, just enough so that I can get it squared up and plumb and all the things. That is not too bad. Cool. Thanks again for joining us today at Red Mountain Life. Again, my name is Jordan, and we adventure, build, and explore here. Probably in about a month or so, if you're watching this. Go down in the comments. You can look and see the links for those Beaver metal chop saw and the titanium welder. Put the helmet and gloves and all that in there too, if I'm able to get that working out. It does help out the channel. Appreciate it, and hopefully you at least had some fun watching this and got some ideas. Like and subscribe if you like the content at all. Thanks. See you next time.